Good morning, YouTube. How are you doing? I hope all of you are doing well. I hope that all is well. And if you are brand new to this channel, thank you and welcome. And if you are returning, thank you and welcome back. So this is another cautionary story. Just some things to think about and consider when you're doing things in life, especially if you're in the church world. So let's begin. So there was a sister. We'll call her Leslie. And no, this doesn't sound nothing like her name. This is a completely made up name. I will just keep her identity a secret. So this was out of a church in the Los Angeles area. And, in the LA area, we got a lot of churches, okay, a lot of churches. So, but this particular situation, this woman, her mom was a pastor. And she used to come and give me and another young woman a ride to church, every Sunday or whatever Sundays that we could make it. And I really liked this sister. I thought she was just great. I just thought the world of her at the time. But this woman was really her own person and was really in her own world, to say the least. But I definitely appreciate what good she brought into my life at the time. And I definitely appreciate, being, invited to her church. And I met her through the other sister that she used to give rides to as well. So this particular sister, Sister Leslie, the lady that would give us a ride to church, she was a middle-aged woman, maybe like right at the beginning of middle age. And I would say she might have been early 40s. So she had gotten involved in a situation with this person, this guy. And I really liked this guy. He seemed to be a really cool dude. And I remember that this guy, I think he visited the church for a little while. He was cool. And he was going through some issues with someone in his family. And I remember Sister Leslie, really took a liking to this guy, they hung out, they were cool with each other. He was cool with everybody. And he was going through some changes and stuff like that. Now that's going to come up later in the story, and I'll explain that. So this story is pretty short, but it really trips me out to this day of what happened. So I just remember, like I said, this woman, had her own personality, just had a way about herself, right? So a little bit of time had passed, not long, maybe, I don't even think it was like 6 months after this brother was introduced into our lives. And one night I was at Bible study and I was sitting in the church, I was sitting there. It was this was a small church, okay? And there was another member that was doing the Bible study. I don't think it was the pastor of the church, right? So I'm sitting there, just kind of minding my own business. Honey, I happened to look up. So when you look up, like, if I can remember correctly, because this happened so many years ago, there's almost like a high, small, little archway that kind of connects between like some type of a little foyer and the seating area of this really small church, right? So one night when I was at church, I just happened to look up and I saw a shadow. And okay, so Sister Leslie wore these weaves, right? She wore like her hair up in a ponytail, and then she would like wear different ponytail styles, like a connected ponytail, right? Like drawstrings, right? So, and I used to wear them too. I like them and stuff, but now, my hair is different now. But, so I'm sitting there, right? I'm looking, I see the shadow, and I'm like, I can't believe my eyes. But I see this thing creeping along the wall. And I mean, I was not half asleep. I wasn't on nothing. I was bright and wide awake. Okay, this was like in the evening time. I looked up and I saw this weird shadow creeping, like it was taking steps and it was creeping. And the thing that I noticed about the shadow was it had a ponytail weave. I promise you I'm not making this up. It's not funny, but that's how I knew who the shadow was or what it was about. You could tell it was an evil spirit, but this thing had, the shape of its hair was like sister's, like one of Sister Leslie's ponytails. And I was like, I was like, what am I seeing? And then it went away fast. But I saw it do like maybe 3 steps of creeping from one end of the wall to the almost to the other, and then it disappeared. I could not believe what I had saw. And I was like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. So later that evening, I know it wasn't like long after that, like I think it was that same evening when she was getting ready to give me a ride home. And I believe at this time it was just me and her in the car. And I told her what I saw. And I was just like explaining to her what I saw, how it was creeping along the wall, like near the ceiling. It was crazy. And the look on her face, she had this shocked, quiet reaction. Like her response was like, wow. Like, is there something that I don't know, right? And so finally she broke her silence and she told me that a few nights earlier, okay, so just kind of back to that brother that was visiting the church, right? Remember I was telling you that he was having some issues with someone in his family or someone that's pretty much connected to his family. So she says she was going to ambush this person. And that she had thought about it and changed her mind. And the part about the hair weave, she said that that was the particular hair weave that she was wearing. It had like a different curl pattern. You know, like it was the curl pattern that I had seen. That was the curl pattern. She wasn't wearing that one that night. Like, and I explained to her how it looked on the thing. And so she was like, yeah, that was the weave I was wearing. So she told me that she thought about doing this and that she did change her mind and that she decided not to do it. And for all I knew, this woman was telling me the truth. Now, supposedly this happened a few nights before I saw that shadowy figure on the wall. So I was like, wow, so she could tell me, hey, I changed my mind, but only she knows what really happened that night. I don't know if she ended up hurting this person or not. I just know that it was serious. And the expression on her face and what she confessed to me, it was like, wow. The only thing I could think is it could be God's way of telling her, hey, you need to stop. So for the Lord to allow me to see something like that, and even down to the description or the details of the hair weave on the thing, that's a trip. And I just want you guys to understand that you have to be careful of your action, or I would say a better word for it is be mindful. Okay, because the Bible says be careful for nothing. I think there's a different interpretation to that. But what I'm trying to say is watch your actions. And as a side note, that's one of the reasons why I don't wear like drawstring ponytails anymore. Like, it's better to just wear your own natural hair. I'm not saying you can never wear a hair weave again or anything, but I had to leave those ponytails alone because in some cases, there are some spirits attached to them things. But I'm going to leave that right there. So this is another cautionary tale to watch your actions. And I think the sister got that lesson from this. And It gave her time to pause and think, at least from what I observed. But you guys, that's my video. Have a great day and take care. Please like, share, and subscribe, and leave a comment. Please let me know what you think. Thank you and have a great day.